What's up, YouTube? Okay, so I just finished doing another video, doing a quick rundown of all the stuff that I took along on my expedition, and I kind of wanted to do a separate video here just to kind of have a little bit of my own opinion, because I mean, IMO guy, in my opinions, you know. And then so, in my opinion, a little Altoids container isn't really going to help you for much more than a day. If you're good, like wicked awesome, the stuff that you have in there is not going to last you much more than a week. And so I want to show what I personally have for like pretty much however long I end up staying out here. I've already been out in the wild for, this is my 5th week now, and I never had to touch this stuff because I have all kinds of other stuff. But as a just in case, this right here is basically my Altoids container, because realistically you're not going to keep an Altoids container in your pocket. You know how stupid that is? Like, personally, that's just a stupid idea. Like, keeping a Altoids container of survival stuff in your pocket, like, what the hell is that gonna do you? You know, like, this is everything that you need to, like, survive, like, for, like, months at a time. This could get you going for a long time, okay? On the top here, we got a water filter. It's double filtered, so it filters out any of the big stuff, and then it's got a filter in the inside. Okay, and then we got some bandage wrap to be able to basically protect you, because this is just kind of big, so it doesn't really fit inside of the bottom container here. So this bottom container here, this is actually a med kit. This is a broken down miniaturized med kit. I have a nice big one here that I use, that I'm going to be living off of. This has everything you could imagine that you would ever need in a first aid kit, and then some. From, like, just you name it, it's got it in there. Like, even Vicks for when you got a really bad cold. I mean, I got everything in there. But this is something where you got everything you need. So you got this on the side here. Nice good folding pocket knife. Most people, they're like, oh, you need a solid full tank knife and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know what you would really need a full tank crazy big ass knife for. This is even already pretty big. This is a pretty decently big knife, as you can see. And so it also has a safety lock on it. So on the back here, it's got a little safety lock on it, so it will never come undone. It's a super sturdy knife. As you can see, it's for the camera focus in here. High-risk environment. I'm not sure exactly what brand this is, but it's an awesome knife. Some people don't like having the serrated bottom part. Personally, I mean, if you don't know how to use this edge of it without hitting that, I mean, you shouldn't really be, you know, going out into the wild anyways. Okay, and then so we got that. We'll put these guys off to the side, along with this, or this off to the side. And then, so, we got this nice and held together by multiple elastics. So we'll put the med kit off to the side for now. Actually, no, we'll do that first, I think, is because it's pretty self-explanatory. So, if you're in a cold environment, or ever find yourself in a cold environment and you feel that you might be getting close to hypothermia, we got this. a hand and body warmer. So you can wrap yourself up in here and it'll keep you warm for 18 hours. I've actually used the hand warmers of this stuff, and it gets wicked warm. I mean, if you got gloves and you put these little hand warmers inside of your gloves, your hands are going to be super toasty warm. And so I haven't tried the body warmer yet. I would imagine it's a larger package, so it ends up puffing out and heating up just by contacting with oxygen. So as long as you got oxygen, you got heat. And then so you got disinfectant, alcohol swabs, larger band-aids, smaller band-aids, really big gauze pads, and on the very bottom here we got some needle. This is actually needle for when I need to repair stuff, but I keep it in here. But then we got multiple other needles. So I was going to be basically using this curved mattress needle here, and we have 2 of them. So I was going to use those for any type of stitching if I ever needed to stitch myself up. That is what I have that for. Okay, and I'll pack that up all together right away, and then I'll go through my version of an Altoids container. So an Altoids container is usually about yay big. It's almost half the size. And then with this guy, we got everything would, oops, had it upside down there. Okay, and then so we have little metal file nail picker type of thing, but could be used for all kinds of stuff. Got fishing wire, got some rubber because it burns real long, got a couple fishing hooks in here. There we go, all 3 of them. I got a little razor blade on the bottom for more cutting, and then there's this plate on the bottom here that you could use. It's a good steel plate where you could pretty much sharpen it up and turn it into all kinds of metal tooling. Okay, and then we got some springs. So basically you can turn these springs by pulling them out here like this. I don't want to pull it out because they fit perfectly inside of each other to conserve room. But you can use springs like this to create your own fishing hooks for some extra fishing hooks and also other uses. And then this, it's not quite as necessary. I just had room in it to be able to put it in there, but you can do all kinds of stuff with the wax. The wax itself is probably one of the, it's a great multi-use thing. You can use it to actually waterproof your shoes. You can use it to waterproof materials like cloth materials by like rubbing it across your whatever it is that you want to waterproof, and then heating it up with a little bit of fire, and then it melts into the pores, and then it turns it into being waterproof. And then got some waterproof matches, a whole crap ton of them, nice and full waterproof matches. And also a lighter, even a small little lighter, because that's one of the biggest things that you need is your fire. And so right here I got my food, multiple sources to be able to get my food, and multiple cutting sources to be able to cut up said food or cordage or whatever, what have you. And then here's another big thing that most people will include into their pack. Some people do it different ways. Me personally, I kind of did amalgamation of everything that I kind of have been researching on. So this actually has oil in it. It's cloth. It's actually cloth, but it's charcoal cloth, if you've ever heard of that. If you're checking out survival videos like this one, then you most likely heard about charcoal cloth. But you might have also heard about oil cloth. Oil cloth will burn nice and long. This charcoal cloth will burn nice and long. Both of them together burn extremely long, along with the cloth itself. So anytime that you're in a wet scenario, this is like an absolute must. I've actually used some of this, not particularly from my survival container. I actually have some from my other, because I have a big kit. Like, if you check out some of my other videos, you'll see I have all kinds of stuff. But yeah, this is my large supply of charcoal cloth. So, but this stuff, this charcoal cloth doesn't have the oil in it, and so it doesn't burn. It burns about 2/3 the amount of time that that this one does. This one ends up actually this, like, I tried just a little tiny bit of this and it burns like wicked crazy. It's like, imagine having the length of time that it takes for this to burn down, but this is still burning the exact same way. And so this really helps out with burning. I used this on a couple wet days where it was raining constantly, but otherwise, personally, because I have the room for it, because I have packs, this is what I personally use. I call them cheater sticks, but we got Woods fire starter sticks. And they're like pretty crazy. As you can see, I've used half of it because I was stuck in rain for a week straight, so I needed to be able to cook up something and cook up whatnot. But yeah, and then even this paper here, I basically barely went through any of it. I think I used maybe a dozen pieces of paper, just because I was lazy and didn't want to strip down bark and make a bird's nest and whatnot. But yeah, that is my that's my Altoids container, because like I said, I honestly don't believe in that little tiny Altoids container saving your life for much longer than a day. And like, worst comes to worst, if you can't like survive off of just like nothing at all, like if a day is all you need to survive or a week is all you need to survive and you're out in the bush and you don't have what you need to be able to survive for a week, you shouldn't have just this little Altoids container. Like, it's not realistic. I mean, any real survivalist, anyone who's really lived out in the wild, will obviously tell you that this little tiny Altoids container is not going to save your life for much more than a day, maximum a week. But as you can see from what I've got, in a very small container, or packaging, that you can throw that into any pack, and that way it weighs nothing. So I mean, if you're one of those people who try and skimp by every half a pound, every kilogram that you can, I mean, really, that's what you want. You want something where you, I mean, just this one pack here alone, I mean, you want something bigger than an Altoids container. And then, so, I mean, I have all of that stuff packed up like that, just because I have this bag over here, that I have all of my minimalist, everything, the very bare minimum that I need to survive indefinitely in that one bag. And so, personally, like I said, I'm gonna cut this short and just finish off by saying, realistically, an Altoids container is not gonna... There's really no point of an Altoids container. I see it all over the internet, all over YouTube. Oh, I got this, this, and this in my Altoids container, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that container is so small. Like, if you ever have to find yourself in a situation where you need to use that little tiny container for one day, you're not gonna die overnight from starvation or no water or something like that. The package I just shown you, you can survive indefinitely. You'll have to change the filter after something like 100 liters, I think it was, of water, and that's actually in my medical container. So, I mean, honestly, throw out your Altoids container, get something bigger, something that you can actually survive off of. You need, like, medical supplies. You need a container with medical supplies, something that can keep you alive, you know, like, and little Altoids container is not going to do it. So, I mean, check out the other videos, like, subscribe, but, I mean, check out my other videos so you know what I'm talking about. You guys have a good one.